Did Canada make a huge mistake? Downgrading ties with India over Khalistanis sparks global backlash. In a shocking move, Canada downgraded diplomatic ties with India over the controversial Khalistani issue. This decision has triggered a global backlash, with consequences far beyond what many initially expected. But did Canada make a huge mistake? Let's dive into the geopolitical, economic, and social fallout of this decision and explore what this means for both nations moving forward. The Khalistani movement is a separatist cause advocating for an independent Sikh homeland, Khalistan, in India's Punjab region. While the movement has largely lost momentum in India, its support remains strong within some sections of the Sikh diaspora. Particularly in Canada, home to a large and politically influential Sikh community, has allowed pro-Khalistani activists to openly advocate for the cause, a move that has angered India. India views these activities as support for terrorism and separatism, leading to a diplomatic standoff. In response to growing pressure from both pro-Khalistani factions at home and India's diplomatic warnings, Canada took the bold step of downgrading its diplomatic ties with India. The decision was seen as Canada standing up for its values, freedom of speech and political activism, but was it a wise decision? With tensions rising, Canada's diplomatic downgrade is now sparking global concerns about its economic and geopolitical consequences. India is one of Canada's largest trading partners. From agricultural exports to tech collaborations, both countries benefit significantly from this relationship. By downgrading ties, Canada risks losing billions in trade. Industries like agriculture, education, and technology could face significant disruptions. Canadian businesses that rely on Indian markets may also find themselves cut off from key partnerships and contracts. The question becomes, is standing up for political activism worth the economic damage? India is not just an emerging economic power, it's a key geopolitical player in the Asia-Pacific region. With its strong ties to global superpowers like the US and the UK, India plays an important role in shaping international policies on climate change, counterterrorism, and trade. By downgrading diplomatic ties, Canada risks alienating itself on the world stage. India's influence with other nations could result in a ripple effect where Canada finds itself increasingly isolated in key global forums. Is this the price Canada is willing to pay for taking a stand on the Khalistani issue? Canada's Sikh community, one of the largest outside of India, holds significant political influence. With figures in parliament and a strong voice in electoral politics, the Khalistani issue is a sensitive domestic matter for Canadian politicians. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's government has to balance the desires of this powerful community with the broader national interest. The diplomatic downgrade could be seen as a political move to secure domestic support, but how sustainable is that approach in the long term? Is Trudeau risking the country's international standing for the sake of appeasing a voting bloc? The fallout from Canada's decision is not limited to its bilateral relationship with India. Other global players are taking note. The US, a close ally of both countries, is reportedly concerned about the tension between two key partners. Likewise, the UK and European nations, which also have sizable Sikh populations, are watching closely to see how this conflict could affect their own relationships with India. Moreover, India's global standing continues to rise. If Canada is seen as aligning with separatists or anti-Indian elements, it could face pressure from multiple fronts to reconsider its position. Is Canada putting its international alliances at risk by downgrading ties? One of India's core concerns is that pro-Khalistani activism in Canada could lead to extremist actions. India has raised alarms over what it calls terrorist activities supported by Canadian citizens. Canada, on the other hand, has to balance this concern with protecting its citizens' right to free speech. The Air India bombing in 1985, which was carried out by pro-Khalistani extremists, is a painful reminder of the security risks involved. Has Canada properly weighed the risk of extremism versus political activism in its handling of this issue? Ultimately, the question remains, did Canada make a huge mistake by downgrading diplomatic ties over the Khalistani issue? while it's clear that Canada is upholding its domestic values of free speech and political activism. The economic, geopolitical, and security consequences of this move are beginning to manifest. Canada may find itself facing not just a bilateral crisis with India but also a growing international backlash that could reshape its role on the world stage. Canada must now navigate a complex path. Will it stick to its principles of free speech, even if it means facing international isolation and economic losses? Or will it find a way to repair its relationship with India, a critical global partner? The diplomatic downgrade may have sparked a backlash, but it's not too late for Canada to seek a more balanced solution. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more in-depth analysis of global political issues. What do you think? Did Canada make the right choice, or should it have handled the situation differently? Let us know in the comments below.